E-cap replacement begins on the BK970. Good evening, YouTube. Here we at 7:41 now on this Tuesday. Pretty sure it's Tuesday. It was earlier this morning when I made the video, so I guess it still is. As you can see, I have the new cap in, the new 22,000 microfarad cap in. I used the toilet roll as I outlined I was going to, and made a nice gasket, whatever you want to call it, spacer. And these are in very, very well. And these are some thick leads. Took me a while to get those in there, but they are in there and soldered well. So I'm happy about that. Next I'm going to tackle, I don't know if I'll tackle the big one or the little one yet next. I'm pretty sure this is the little one. It's a little hard to get to, but it may be easier to get to it after I replace this one because it makes it so much smaller. So let me try that and see. The problem with this one is I'm going to have to drill this out because I don't know of any other way of getting it out, to tell you the truth. It's not going to be able to stay there. Pretty sure of that. So let me see if I can find a drill bit here and start drilling on that rivet and maybe get it out. I guess you guys are seeing that, aren't you? This rivet right here. So, alright, let me try to work on that a little bit and see if I can get that out. Good early afternoon to you all, YouTube. It's 12:17 on this Wednesday. I have the B&K 970 radio analyst in front of me here, as you can see on the camera. The I did some I don't remember where I left off, so bear with me if I repeat some stuff. This is the new 22,000 microfarad capacitor installed here. Positive, negative, right there. It's in there pretty good. I'll turn it around here so you can see the other side. So, like I say, it's doing pretty good there. It's good and tight there. I mean, it's not going to come out or anything like that. So, not the best job in the world of putting it in there, but you know, like I said, it does the job and it does it right. So that's all we have to worry about, really, I think. Back on the back side again. I made some mistakes here. Oh, well, not some mistakes, but a mistake. What I did, basically, now these two leads here was this capacitor here. I used the Dremel to cut the band here. That was the easiest way to do that, and take that out. This is the positive end. That's the negative end. And I do have a replacement for this. This is 1,000 microfarad, and I think it's like 25 volts or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but anyway, I do have the replacement for that. Yeah, it's 25. In fact, the one I'm using here is the 1,000 at 50 volts. So that will go in there. Let's see, like that. Of course, now what I'm going to do is probably add some decent leads to this with the insulation on them, and I'll meet the wires over here closer to wherever they go, and then we'll cut the excess off. But that's how I'm going to do that one. That's that one. Now here's where I made the mistake, and I've alluded to this in the comments on yesterday's video this morning, and you can see here is a spot there. I think you can see that. And if we look in here, right there, it's difficult to see for this, but there's another end right there that my screwdriver is touching, and that makes these two ends here. Anyway, that's was a capacitor in there, and this is the one that was in there. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, but this is a 3 microfarad 400 working volts, non-polarized electrolytic capacitor. There's the date code, 1065. So it's been in there for a while. I think it was time to change. What I didn't realize was that was a non-polarized cap when I cut it out. I thought it was one of the other just standard caps that I had, and I could replace it. Well, I didn't have one. So what I did was order a couple of, I think there were 6.8 polarized, just regular electrolytic caps, and then I'll put them back to back and put them back in there to make a non-polarized 3.4 or whatever microfarad. It'll be close enough. And like I said, that's what I'm gonna do for there. That's my big mistake. The rest of them I have caps for, but there is some problems on this other side here. Let me move this once again. If I can do this. This thing is so huge that it's just very difficult to get anything done. Now on this one, see there, get my pointer again. There is a cap here. This yellow cap right here was in there. This is an electrolytic. That's the positive end, I think, and that's the negative. I don't know which one was which. I can't see it. Yeah, I think the sticking end that sticks out is the positive end, and the other end is negative. But anyway, that's the way I marked it. I don't know if you can see that little plus mark, but there's a plus mark by that hole, and of course there's nothing by that one. I have the one to go back in there, but as I'm going to show you here in a second. Now this is the other one I have to replace. I've already got one end of it loose, and the other end goes right there. This is a positive end here. So let's turn it around a little bit and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That is all I can see. That's not much. And besides that, I'm a little bit hampered with my soldering iron. The way I've got it routed, I don't have the full extension of the cable, which I'm going to have to change around for this job only, it appears, and so that I can get the full extension on my cable to get it over where it goes. I think I can do this no problem. It's just a matter of getting in there to seeing it. One connection I think is right there, and the other one's down here, and then there's one right here that's still connected for the negative end of the little blue cap that I just showed you. So I've got to get in there and get that out. I've got to take some solder wick, try to clean these holes out so that I can put the new caps in and then be able to solder them back in. But that is a little bit close to work with there. I've tried to come up with a decent way. I'm thinking about putting the 970 on, laying flat on this, and then propping up the backside to where I can see a little bit better in there, hopefully. And I'm going to try that to see if I can get my solder wick in there and clean that up and get everything done. It's not impossible, it's just difficult. How's that? That's the best way to put it, I guess. But anyway, that's got to be done, and so I want to do that. And as soon as I've ordered the caps that I needed to make that non-polarized cap from Sal's. Sal's saying that he's a little behind on his orders again, so he said it may take a little while to get that together. So we'll have to wait until it gets in. But that's one of the reasons I can't use this now for the demo that I wanted to use, because of these capacitors. Now, I thought it was going to be an easy job to do all these. That's why I went ahead and started on them. I thought, well, you know, I'll go ahead and get this done and have one more step closer. The stuff for the coating the chassis is going to be here today. Supposedly it's out for delivery, I think, UPS. So I may play around with that a little bit in the meantime, and while I'm waiting on my parts. I'm going to try to get this done, this section here. Like I said, there's that little blue one. 10 microfarad is what it is, you can see it. But these two should be easy, fairly easy enough to get done, I think. And if there's enough, I may look at this hole and see if I can see some light behind here or something. And I don't see any, can't see my fingers behind them, so the holes are plugged up with solder. So, but I want to get this done first, and well, it doesn't matter which is first, get this done or that done, either one. But like I said, I want to try to turn it over on its top and see what happens, and we'll go from there. So I may go ahead and do the voltage doubler idea. I've got a small piece of perf board. I'm going to make up the circuit, and I may just use something else for the output of the I want to basically either 400 or 1000 hertz tone, and actually I could probably use my phone for that, and just do that, and then that way would you know, at least give me an idea of what I was looking at. I'll probably use the Heathkit IM5284 because that's got a dial, an analog dial on it with a needle, and I think that's what I want to try it out. It has a 1 volt range and a 10 volt range, so that might be closer to what I need anyway. So we'll go from there and see what happens, but like I say, that's later on, probably today or this evening, and I just have to wait and see how it turns out. But a little slight mishap on the capacitor, so you know, it's just a little delay. It's not no big deal. So I'm leaving the Zenith out here on the bench, as you can see there, I think. I'm going to try to hopefully get this done enough to where I can use it to maybe tune this up a little bit and just, you know, do some playing around with this 970 to see how well it works for that. And I'd like to know, because before I even put the top back on it, and I think Leo asked if I had the case for this. Yes, I do have the case for it, Leo. It's in the other room. There's no room for it in here with this. So once I get the all completely done, I will put the case back on it. And I have been working on the straightening out this edge here where it was boogered up. And it's a little bit better than it was. It's still not great, but I think it would be good enough to use like that. But I may try a little bit more straightening on that. It's really difficult to straighten that just with a pair of pliers or whatever, and by, you know, not messing the paint up on it. And the one on top edge I think will be easier to mess with than this one is. So we'll see. Good afternoon, YouTube. Here with you again on this Wednesday. It is 2:15 now. I am just finishing up the installation of these two resistors. Capacitors. It took me a while to figure out what the black band was on this one, but it is in fact negative. Let me take you down just a hair and see if we can get a better shot of that. There we go. This one, of course, is marked plus and minus, or not plus and minus, but minus is marked. There's a band on it pointing to this end, so this is the minus, this is the plus. I was able to remove the board. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. I had to take out the let me turn you around a little bit. Take these knobs off here, and once I did, there's nuts on the shafts that had to be removed, and then both of the selector and the tuning capacitor comes out in one you know, as one piece. So it was pretty easy to do, but I really don't get you didn't get a lot of I just now saw that that's not right either. I don't think that's supposed to be behind there. And I'll fix that, but it's not a big deal. But anyway, it's not really, it doesn't really give you a lot of space, but it does give you some. So, you know, I think it was enough to get the job done, obviously. The problem, you know, you have there is these, the area here is just really, as you can see, I think I clipped the insulation on that a little bit with the soldering iron, but that's no big deal. Plenty, it's thick enough insulation, didn't bother it any. So like I said, that's going to do those two. And I read some comments on the, what do you call it, YouTube videos, and somebody had said, and I don't remember who it was now or anything like that, but somebody said there was 3 E-caps on this board, and I have yet to find the other one, if there is another one. I don't know. But like I said, these are the only 2 I'm replacing, so I can tell you that. So if there is, in fact, another one, I guess it'll just have to be whatever it is. So that, like I said, that just leaves now the non-polarized one, which, like I told you about, the having replacements coming, and this, where's it at? 1,000. I have to yet to do that. I'm going to wait until I get the other one replaced before I do this one, because this is the easiest one to get to, and the other one's a little harder to get to. And with this in place, it probably wouldn't be as easy to get to the other one. So we'll wait on that, and once I get everything where it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be, I'll tackle that job. And probably won't get to the doubler demo until maybe this evening or maybe even tomorrow. And I do plan on going to visit Mom tomorrow, so I just talked to my sister, and she was telling me some of the stuff that happened when she went to the doctor the last time. So she has lost some weight. I think she went from 121 to 103 or something like that, around 20 pounds since January. So they were a little concerned with that. I guess she doesn't really eat as well as she should. Of course, you know, that, I don't know, it's just I know the last time, I think I mentioned the last time I was there, she said she was hungry. So I may take something with me tomorrow just in case she is still hungry or something like that, and let her eat that. So, alright, you guys have a pleasant day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see ya.